This is Rob Humphrey, and I am joined by Matt Volkes, who is in the band The People's Blues of Richmond. How are you today, Matt?
I'm doing great, Rob. How you doing?
Good. You guys are heading out on the road. You said you're hopping in the van and going, huh?
Yeah, we just jumped in the van. We're about to do a few shows with JJ Gray and MoPro, and then we're headed down to Tampa. We're going to do Gasparilla Music Festival with Modest Mouse and Go-Go Bordello and Trampled by Turtles and a ton of other awesome bands. And then we're heading out to Colorado and South by Southwest.
Oh, that's cool. Are you guys are you guys doing a lot of festivals this year?
Yeah, we don't have everything announced yet. We're really excited about Electric Forest, which is this like insane festival. They pay a lot of attention to the art installations, so it's almost like a theme park with and you have your favorite bands all in this secluded area of the woods in Rothbury, Michigan. So we're excited about Electric Forest, and we have Camp Barefoot, which we've been playing for 4 years. And I mean, they all have amazing lineups. I mean, Camp Barefoot's like Big Gigantic and the new Master Sounds, Grey Boy All Stars. So it's it's exciting. I think we're gonna have a big summer ahead of us.
Yeah, there are so many festivals these days now, and I think for bands that are starting out, they're really a good thing. But most bands tell me they don't really like playing them. How do you guys feel about it?
Man, I've never heard that before. Actually, we love festivals. I mean, it's like one of our favorite things. I think we do it really well. Personally, we have fun doing it.
Right.
And it's like, you get 45 minutes or an hour or 90 minutes, depending, to lay it down in front of these people, and you get a lot of new fans. And,
right.
I feel like everybody there is so stoked and excited to be there and have the freedom for a weekend that, it allows for us to do a lot with our set. And, occasionally we'll have surprises, we'll, throw stuff into the crowd, or, we came up with this idea where we're like, all right, we're going to get a big tarp and buckets of paint, and while we play, people dip their feet in the paint and then dance on the tarp, and then we give it to the promoter of the festival as like a, it's like a fan and band art piece together, like collaboration.
Yeah, that sounds like fun, actually.
Yeah, it's great if you're willing to dip your feet in the paint.
Right, and I assume if the schedule breaks right, then you can kind of hang out and watch some of the other bands perform. That's got to be kind of fun.
Oh, yeah, man. We have a blast. I mean, I'd say different than some other bands is, and I mean, it depends on what, festivals they are, but we always, walk around with a bottle of whiskey and hit every campsite we can and hang out with everybody. Because, I mean, there's some really great people out there, and they really enjoy music. And, that's why they're there, is to catch, 50 bands in a row. I mean, they must really like music if they're going to see 50 bands in a row.
Right, yeah. I want to talk about the band's name, because that's something that really jumps out. It's not a typical band name. The People's Blues of Richmond. Where did that come from? How did you guys come up with that name, and what does it mean?
Okay, well, so we are from Richmond, Virginia, obviously. The short story is that it's, the struggle of our hometown people. The People's Blues of Richmond, if you say you got the blues, that means you got the struggle about something, you're worried about something, or you're hurting about something. And we, at the, when the band came together, we were going through some hardships and grieving over some friends that, were lost, and, it was a wild, I mean, we were really young, too, so it was a really wild time, and we were drinking a lot of beer at the time, too, so I won't, I'm not going to pretend like the beer didn't have anything to do with it, but Tim, the guitar player, was like, hey, People's Blues of Richmond, that sounds cool, and when we started, we were listening, the first two songs we ever played were Crossroads and Sitting on Top of the World. I mean, that, and we were doing the Cream versions of them. My dad was in a blues band, so we were listening to that and influenced by a ton of that. And Tim, was a huge Zeppelin fan, but at the time was also really into some, some older blues, some stripped down stuff like, Little Walter and, of course the classics like Muddy Waters and everything. But so I mean, it originated, because we were just playing some basic blues and we were hurting. And I think, much like when you write a song, you don't always know what the lyrics mean till later. over the time, we've realized, like, oh, this is our representation of the hurt in Richmond.
And so the band kind of came together around tough times, and that's where you took the name from. That makes sense. I do also want to talk about the album name because it's an interesting one. Good Time Suicide. I'm not sure what to make of that. Where did that come from?
Well, some of the hardship we dealt with had to do with suicide, which is a big issue, and everyone should be aware of that. And if someone's hurting, they should ask for help and find somebody that they can talk to. It's not going to always make it better, but it can help. And so that, like I said, we were dealing with that, and then at the same time, being young and drinking and smoking cigarettes and partying and everything, you're always kind of killing yourself slowly. You know what I mean? So it's like having a good time on your way out, kind of thing.
Right. No, that makes sense. When did the band form?
Originally, it formed around 2009, and we had a keyboard player, and we had a different drummer.
Yeah, I wanted to ask you about that. I know you guys had at least a couple of lineup changes. What kind of adjustment is that for a band? When somebody leaves and you bring a new person in, there's obviously got to be an adjustment period. How tough is that?
I mean, it depends. I mean, I think we took it really well. It's super refreshing when you get somebody with a new creative outlook on the music to come into the band and take hold. And that's what happened with Nico, is that we were going in a similar direction when he joined the band, but I feel like when he joined, he kind of pushed it, a little bit harder. I mean, I think we have a little bit more energy than our shows used to be, maybe. But it's just a really great songwriting experience because, the longer you're in a band with someone, the more what you're willing to bend or not bend on with people. And sometimes in songwriting, I think it's more insecurity than anything else. It's not, oh, I don't like this or whatever, but it's like, I'm afraid to play this because I'm not so sure, I like it or whatever. But it was awesome. We had a blast. I mean, the minute he joined the band, Nico did, we went balls to the wall and haven't stopped since. And it's just been awesome.
What is the writing process like for you guys? Do you all work together, or do you work individually and come together?
I mean, it's always different. We all write our own parts, and that's more to writing a song than some people give credit to. Is oh, well, that's. I mean, I don't know. I used to watch this. I watched this documentary about Cream, Ginger Baker, talking about how he came up with the drum riff for "Sunshine of Your Love," which is instrumental in the song.
Mm-hmm.
So we all write our own parts, and sometimes one of us will come with a riff or a drum beat, and then we'll work around that. Sometimes one of us will come with a whole song and an idea of how we want it to sound. And I mean, Tim writes all the lyrics, but we all come together and decide what we think's cool and how we feel about everything.
Do you the free download of the week, the WTTS free download of the week is Black Cat this week. Do you remember anything specific about how that song came together? Maybe.
Yeah, it was. I mean, it was the turnover of the band. We were, which that song was recorded with our old drummer and keyboard player, but it was like our goodbye recording. Like, we had already decided we were parting ways. We were practicing at the same time with Nico and writing new songs. And this was one of the new songs we had written. I think we were just jamming somewhere and the riff came up, and we were like, oh, this is kind of cool. And, it was actually a guinea pig recording, our buddy's studio, Montrose Recording, who Adrian Olson plays in a great band. They're up and coming, called Avers. And he had a tape machine come in, and he was like, posted on Facebook, like, yo, who wants to guinea pig this? And we went in there, and I mean, it was like magic. We were excited when we finished with it. That was the song we recorded, and we did it in one day, and it was real smooth, and it just seemed like it was, magic or something.
Right. Yeah, that's nice when it comes together like that, I guess, right? Because they can't all be that easy, are they?
Oh no, man, never. It's like, I mean, that's the beauty of it is the work you put into it, and then you have this thing that at the end. I mean, there's always even different versions.
Mm-hmm. When you guys you mentioned in the van, headed out, you're going to do a few shows with J.J. Gray. What do you do when you're on the road to pass the time? Because I mean, you've got what I don't know how long you guys play, but what is it, an hour, 90 minutes, whatever you're on stage, and then you got the rest of the day. You got to do something. What is it that you guys like to do to pass time?
Well, I mean, when we're in the van, we set up like DVD player and we plug it into our speakers, and we'll make our own movie theater. We'll play, stupid games or something like that, or come up with like, what would we do if we had money ideas, But and then once we get to the city, I mean, there's no rules. We run around. If everything's within a close distance, we'll probably look in the window. And I mean, we have a lot of friends in a lot of cities. We like to we'll do family dinners with some people sometimes, or I mean, it's hard, you don't always have time. It's a lot of the time spent in the van. Right,
yeah, traveling. But yeah, I guess it would depend on where you're going and stuff. Like if you guys go to a new city, what's the first thing you seek out? Is it
the first thing we do is we try and hit the ground and tell people. We're like, we go out, we maybe we'll go, even if we walk in, to McDonald's. I hate to say that we have to eat fast food sometimes, but it's cheap and quick. If we walk in, we'll be like, invite the lady behind the register, like, hey, we're playing down the street tonight. Come check us out, And it's not that, you'll get a direct effect from every single one, but it's worth it and it's fun. People get excited about it. They want to, that lady at the end of her day may not have come out, but she probably went home and told her family, I met this crazy band inside, and they invited me to the show. I'm 50 years old. Who would invite me to the show,
Right. All right. Well, have fun out there. What's next for you guys? I know you're on the road now, and you got some festivals this summer, but what are you looking beyond that?
Yeah, man. We have a lot going on. We're releasing Pop Matters, which is a really awesome music publication is going to be releasing our new single, Out of My Mind, which we recorded with Mark Neal, who did the Black Keys album Brothers. He did J. Roddy Walston's album, The Essential Tremors, and he did Dan Auerbach's solo album, Keep It Hit, a bunch of awesome stuff. And we went down there and had a blast with him, man. The guy's brilliant. I'd say we definitely learned a lot from him, which was cool. And so look for that. Pop Matters is going to be streaming it from their site. And we're going to be having a lot of other releases here with new material and new shows and festivals. You can check us out on peoplesblues.com, Instagram us at peoplesblues, hashtag PBRVA, and you can find us on Twitter at peoplesblues as well.
All right. Well, thanks for taking a little time out this afternoon. Safe travels, and best of luck to you guys.
Yeah, thanks so much, Robert. You guys have a great day at WTTS, and rock on.